everyone, welcome back. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I am Jen, or as my new channel name is, Jen's World of Stitches and DP. We are going to do a whip and chat. And first of all, I want to thank Pippa for inviting me to join the premiere this year. I did not get to do it last year. Just because there was a lot going on last year that I just didn't have the time to do so. So we are going to be working on Santa and Tree from Diamond Art Club. It is a round. It's 56 by 56, and this is also a Christmas diamond painting that I am doing with for my mistletoe DP along that I'm doing with Lizzie's World of Gems. And of course, we haven't really been very good about it this year, and partly that's my fault, but that's okay. I've been sick, and I know that she hasn't been feeling well lately either. So hopefully we can get back into the groove of it before December ends. But anyway, we're just going to sit here. We're going to chat. I'm going to talk about stuff that, in my life for Christmas and so forth. So let's get started. Oh goodness, let's see. What am I going to talk about for Christmas? Let's see. Now, when I lived at home, our Christmas was a little different. Um, just because, well, no, I can't say that. My Christmas was really, really, it was all family oriented. And we always, would either have, depending on the, I guess, the year, because there were some years that extended family, like my aunts and uncles, would come, and we would always have, big Christmas dinner beforehand or the night before, just depending on, how many people were there, if my aunts and uncles were there, or if, or if, it just really all depended. I will tell you, my grandmother was one of these ones that always enjoyed doing that kind of thing. She even did that kind of thing at Thanksgiving. So it was kind of nice. Now, since I've moved out of the home and now have children of my own, I don't do a big dinner. My kids just never really were into that, just because I don't know. They just never really seemed to be excited by, having this big Christmas Eve dinner or anything like that. They just were like, okay. I will tell you, they were more excited about the fact that Santa Claus was coming, and they wanted to have, wanted to stay up and wait for Santa Claus, or try to sneak in while mommy was helping Santa wrap presents from Santa, so that they can be all up in the business and know what's going on. That's just how my children were, believe me. They had their moments. It was a fun, but I mean, but again, I'm trying to think of stuff that my parents did, because it's been a very long time since uh I've had to think about anything that my parents did when we lived at home. My dad always decorates the outside of the house, and they didn't used to do that. I don't remember why they started doing that. It wasn't. I don't know why they started doing that. I guess my mother just kind of wanted to be like, all the other, be like the Joneses or whatever, that always had their Christmas lights up and everything. And my dad finally kind of got into it, and now I don't know if they still do it, but now he has this big spotlight that he puts on that he has put in front of the house. And of course, my mother has the little candles that you can put in the windows. And um, my mother and my dad made little Christmas wreaths that they hang up out on the outside of the windows. And that's their thing. And of course, they decorate. They used to get a real tree. Now they don't. They I don't know why they stopped doing that. My dad always was adamant about having, a real tree, and that was just our thing. And I can remember going with him sometimes to pick out the tree. And I used to get upset because he wouldn't pick out, I would pick out the tallest tree there was, and he would tell me we can't get that one because, and I would be upset because number one, the ceilings in my parents' home wasn't, they weren't high enough for, this big, huge, 9-foot tree. And so we never had a big, huge, tall tree. But now they have an artificial one, and lately they haven't been. Lately they haven't been really doing a whole lot on Christmas, just because I don't know if it's because they're getting older or what it is, but they just kind of, most of the time they're traveling. They go to see my sisters in either Kentucky or in Italy. My one of my sisters lives in Italy, and they go to go there sometimes, or it just really all depends. Now this year I'm not sure. I know last year they didn't because my mother had COVID, and that was not a very fun thing for her. Now I will tell you up front, my parents and I, we don't celebrate Christmas together anymore because they told me, oh my gosh, about maybe 10, 15 years ago, that they're just not doing that much anymore. So we don't go over there and they don't come over here, and which is not a bad thing because I totally get it. And I mean, I'm even getting that way now. I don't even want to decorate the tree half the time, but little dude has made sure that I decorate the tree because he doesn't want Christmas to not be a fun affair. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Christmas. I love it. That's like I've told plenty of people, in videos and yeah, and whatever. Christmas and Thanksgiving. This time of the year is one of my favorites. Granted, it can be bittersweet because my grandparents aren't around anymore. But yeah, this is my favorite time of the year. I like it. I used to love waiting for um, White Christmas, but now we're not going to get that now because you know it's not going to happen because it's too warm outside. So but gosh, now I lost my train of thought that freaking quick. Um, so no, my parents don't do a big Christmas like they used to. And I think part of that also is because of the fact that my grandparents aren't alive anymore to celebrate with us. And so they don't do, a whole lot of anything. Um, and it's not because they don't want to. I guess they're just ready, to just kind of say, okay, the kids have their own, families, and they don't need. We're just gonna, relax and enjoy, our time, which is fine. So there, it's been pretty one of those things where you're like, okay, mom. So that's basically, yeah. But I mean, every year, our Christmases, and I can remember, my sisters and I would always be excited about Christmas. Shoot, there have been times that I would wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and or my sisters would to get me up because Santa Claus came, and we've our parents would my parents would get upset like, yeah, guys, it's bedtime, you got to go back to bed, you can't be up now. But mom, Santa Claus came. And of course we would end up back in bed. And then we'd get up, and we would always have to wait upstairs before we were allowed to go downstairs, because my grandparents would come in the morning and bring their presents, gifts to us, and we would always have to wait. And I'm gonna tell you, when I was a kid, I hated waiting. I hated it. I used to get so upset when my parents would tell me, you have to wait upstairs because you can't. And because I would always be one of those ones. Yes, I knew Santa Claus came, but you know I was most excited. I would get the stocking and would be all excited, but I'd want to go downstairs and see what Santa brought. And my parents would always say, well, you have to wait until your grandparents get here. And that was kind of the thing where I was like, really, do we have to wait? And I can remember whining and getting upset with my parents because they would make us wait. So, but yeah, now that I'm an adult and I have children, everything is a little different here. Um, little dude is, little dude, he's always the inquisitive, I guess is the word I want to say. He's always asking questions about Santa. And last year, I can remember, he asked me, he says, Mommy. I said, what? He says, is Santa, is Santa going to get, he was always worried about Santa getting coronavirus. And I remember telling him, no, Santa's a magical being, so you don't have to worry about it. And of course, he, even though I told him that, he was still worried about it. And which can't say I blame him, because Corona was like the most awful thing there is, and it still is. And he, was always worried about it. And he's like, well, is he still going to deliver presents? And I said, yes, he'll wear a mask, but he can't get sick. And he even asked, what's the point? Why is he going to wear a mask? Because he doesn't want, he doesn't want us to get sick from all the other homes that he's been. Now, I'll tell you, and then, of course, he was like, oh. And then NORAD Tracker has become our friend. And believe me, if none of you have ever used it, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I used to use it. No, I can't say I didn't. I started using it when he was old enough to understand what that was. And, of course, I made the mistake of saying, NORAD tracks him. Well, then, even last year, he was always, every 15 minutes, coming to me, Mom, Santa's here. Mom, Santa such and such. And he would, it was funny. And then, of course, he got upset because, well, not upset, but he got kind of worried because on NORAD it showed that he had already come here at like 9 o'clock, and he came out and he looks at me, says, "Mommy." I said, "What?" He says, "Santa been?" Not yet. And I said, "Because you have to be in bed." "But Mom." I said, "What?" He says, "It shows that he's already been." I said, "What are you talking about?" And he showed me on the Santa tracker. I said, "Okay, well, maybe maybe he's been, because I think it was like Washington, D.C. he said he'd been, or what, I don't even remember." And of course, he didn't believe me. So I told him, I said, "Well, then maybe you need to go to bed." Because I've always told him, Santa won't come until you go to bed. So yeah, he was being a little weird about that. So finally I got him to go to bed. And he used to ask me, because we don't have a chimney. We have an HVAC closet where our air conditioner is, but there's a chimney in the HVAC closet that is part of the um, heating unit. So he asked me one day, he says, "How does Santa Claus get in here?" Well, and I kind of looked at him. I said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Well, we don't have a chimney." Okay, we don't have a chimney, boo boo, but he can come down the. I said, "Well, no, yes, we do have a chimney." He says, "No, we don't." I said, "Yes, we do." So I went in and showed it to him, and he looked at me. He says, "But Mom, that's the air. That's the heating, the the HVAC closet." I said, "Yes." I said, "But there's a chimney in here." So I opened the door and I showed him where it was, and he just looks at me like I'm totally like there's something wrong with me. And he says, "Really?" I said, "What?" He says, "Mom, really?" I was like, "Oh, okay, well, you're not going to believe that." And at that point, I really actually thought that he was going to stop believing in Santa Claus. But no, he hasn't. Now, Justin has tried to ruin it a couple of times for him, but I refuse to let him, just because I, you know, I have serious issues with him doing that. And he looks at me, "But Mom, he's 12. He's going to be 12. I don't care. You're not ruining this for your brother." And he was like, "Well, I knew it. I don't care what you knew at this age. You're not ruining it for your brother." So it's been very, very hard to try to um, not ruin it, because Justin likes to be that way. But so far he's been pretty good about not, kind of like trying to spill the beans and saying, "Oh yeah, such and such, he's not real." And because that would just totally upset little dude, and not doing it. Okay. Um, I'm going to answer some tag questions along with this, because, and I'm hoping we have time. I'm hoping I can make this stretch out, because. So, I found these on, I Googled these. I couldn't find anything that was a little more, I don't know, that I had to, like get into a little more, but we're just going to answer them. The first, and I don't even remember where on Google I found these. So the first one is, what is your favorite holiday or Christmas song? Oh my gosh, do you know how many I have? Mm. I don't really know, because um, hmm. I don't know if this is a Christmas song, but this was a song that my father always. Now my dad is like this big. uh, deacon in church, and he is part of a quartet at church that he sings in. And anyway, he used to lead the Christmas caroling every Christmas Eve, or and I don't know if this is considered a Christmas song, but he's always sung this song at that point in time. It's called "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?" And no, I'm not going to sing it for you. Um, I can remember him singing it. It was always one of the songs that they sang that he would, sing. And I can't remember all the words. And if I'm not mistaken, it is. I don't remember. I can't remember what. I can't remember the words to the whole song. That's how long it's been. But yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. Um, I have so many, and to just pick one would be just totally, you know, like, if I pick one, then I'm going to want to pick all of them. And that would be just totally, like crazy, 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 crazy. So, yeah, that's the one that that's the one that I remember the most. Um, when I was a kid, that my dad would sing. Like I said, you gotta remember that was like 40 some years ago. And yes, I'm showing my age. Okay, where do you usually spend your holiday? Right here. Especially now, because all these variants coming out, and but I'm trying to make it's I'm trying to be positive because that's what you're supposed to do at Christmas. But no, Christmas has always been spent here. We don't go anywhere. Um, like I am a homebody anyway, and so we just spend Christmas here. We've never really, gone anywhere or traveled anywhere because, number one, we just never, I just never had the urge to, and then, never had the money. But um, my kids have asked me to go to Disney next year, so we'll see. But no, we usually stay right here and, do our thing. Um, we've made a tradition, and this is another question, but what is, um, can't find it. Do I have any Christmas traditions? We started one last year, and well, no, we started one this year. We do have one where I always either buy chocolate chip cookies. It has to be chocolate chip cookies. That's always been what my kids picked out, and little dude that he stuck with it. But we always have a plate of cookies sitting out, and then we or eggnog or whatever, and sit out and for Santa, which I'm pretty sure most parents do that. And this year, also with that, we are started watching like Harry Potter movies. But this year it's going to. I'm not sure which ones we're watching this year. I don't know if we're going to watch um, Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or the Hobbit trilogy. We haven't got very far. We'll probably watch the Hobbit trilogy because. And you gotta be quiet. I bought that for her for Miranda for Christmas. That's one of her favorite movies. So other than that, yeah. We don't really have that many now. One of the well, I guess it's become a tradition, is my daughter Miranda and little dude decorate the tree. I can't get Justin out. Justin used to help, but now he's, like, I could really, whatever, don't really want to participate in that. It's boring. But and I that he's working, so he's always busy now, so he doesn't get to participate in stuff like that. But yeah, my little dude and Miranda decorate the tree, and they last year we couldn't decide between the white lights or colored lights. So I told her, I said, well, we'll just do this. We'll just put both on. And she just kind of looked at me like, why? I don't know. Just to be different. So we have both on the tree. Now, it's not the way we had it last year. And, but, we still have them on there. And I don't really know if I want to call this a tradition, because it's just become a habit now. But I usually make cross stitch ornaments, and I started some this year, but I haven't really like sat down and like, oh yeah, you need to finish these. And for the tree, because it's a bad time to get some new ones, because I have a bunch that I had to uh, get rid of because they were getting old and ratty. So, yeah, you can imagine where that went. Let's see. What is the next question? What would be your dream place to visit for the holiday season? Mm. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Um, hmm. Well, I don't know. Oh my gosh. No idea. Um, mm, hmm. That's interesting question. Well, it's not interesting. It's just a question that I gotta figure out. Um, hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna have to say the North Pole, the actual North Pole. I've seen pictures of it, and I've Googled it, and I didn't know this, and y'all are gonna laugh. I did not know we have a North Pole on this side of the globe, but over, like, in, like, I guess in Finland or wherever, there's a North Pole village, and which I didn't know, but we have a North Pole here. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I'll probably be telling y'all something that's probably not true, but, and if I am, I'm sorry. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, there is a North Pole over here. And I think it's up, near at the, I don't know. I'll have to look. I'm going to have to research that some more to find out. Because I'm not really sure. I'm, but yeah, that's one of the places that I want to visit. I have shown little dude pictures, and he's always told me that he would like to visit there. Uh, and I want to take him there, but that, I don't think that will ever happen. Let's see. Not a most memorable holiday moment. Oh my gosh. Let's see. You all. See, these questions make you think, and I can't even tell you if I can't even possibly tell you if I can remember one. Um, mm, Most holiday memorable moment. Good grief. Um, I'm 52 years old and I can't remember. My brain is like mush. Hmm. Let's see. My most holiday memorable moment. Oh my gosh. Um, hmm. I'm gonna be honest. I can't remember one. I have been sitting here racking my brain. You know what? We'll come back to that if I can remember one. All right. The next question is: do you use advent calendars? No. I did when I can remember my mother having them when they were when we lived at home, and I really, 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 really want to do that again. Um, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't take a lot of traditions that my parents had and bring them here because at that time I wanted to be different. I didn't want to like repeat, kind of copy my mother. I just didn't want to do that. But yeah, I've always wanted to do uh, an advent calendar with my kids and kind of, um, oh, where's the, there it is. Um, kind of have something that they can look forward to and uh, for, to count Christmas down because little dude likes to do that. Now, I used to, that y'all gonna laugh at this. I used to do the movies that were, I used to do what is it, the 10 days of Christmas or the 12 days of Christmas or whatever it is on, I think it was what was it? Was it the Hallmark Channel? I don't remember. But those were always one of the ways that I would always count down Christmas. Now, I don't do that now. Uh, but I do want to try that. I do want to do that again. So I think, next year will be one of those things where I do that because that's, kind of, fun. Um, and I always enjoyed doing it when I lived at home when I was growing up because it was always fun. But I always had to take turns with my sister. That was one of the things I hated. Was taking turns with my sister doing, the advent because I wanted to open it every day, open one every day, and my mother would tell me, "No, your sister has to do one." So it was like, didn't think it was fair. And then when, of course, my baby sister was born, I had to, be prepared to say, "Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this every day again." So, but, it was fun doing the tradition. I always enjoyed doing it. And I just wish I had thought of doing that before. Okay, next question. Do you have a real or a fake tree? We have an artificial tree. Um, I've always had an artificial tree. I don't I don't think I could have a live tree because it would be my luck. I would kill it. That's the truth. I would kill it. Uh, I am not good when it comes to taking care of plants. I do not have a green thumb to save my. I'm telling you, I kid you not. I have gotten plants for Mother's Day. I have gotten plants for, my mother used to give me plants or, flowers or whatever to bring home. And yeah, they die in like a week. And I'm just not a green thumb person. So, yeah, just one of those things, I guess. But Yeah, that we have an artificial tree. It's just easier for me than trying to, go and buy one. Granted, some most trees are not, Christmas trees are not expensive, but I just rather just have the artificial one and be done with it, because it's just easier for me to, pack it away in the closet until next year and not have to worry about it and deal with it. Um, and it's always been that way. And my parents, before they had an artificial one, they never could understand why I was adamant about, the an artificial tree. I just like putting my tree up. I usually put my tree up the day after Thanksgiving, and I take it down New Year's Day. And um, of course, my parents were like, "Why would you do that?" Because that's when Christmas season starts. Black Friday is on, the day after Christmas or day after Thanksgiving. So why not? So it just became one of those things where my parents just kind of looked at me like I'd lost my mind for the longest time. And now they, but I don't think they put theirs up around Thanksgiving. I'm not sure. But so yeah, for the longest time my parents were like, "Okay." So next question is, what is your favorite holiday decoration? Oh my gosh. My favorite holiday decoration. I have to say, and I will get one and show it to you. I have to say, ornaments that I have stitched, and I'll get you one of them to show you what I've done. Um, let's see. Mm. Let's see. This is an old one, but you guys can see it. This was an old one um, that I made, good grief, back in 1999. This is one. It's a, as you guys can see. Now, mind you, this is not the color of it. Well, yeah, it is. My mom put the backing on it and did all this for me. This is before, but I'm going to learn how to do all this for by myself so that I can do the ornaments. But yeah, this is one. It's not my favorite, but these stitching my own ornaments and putting them on my tree is my favorite. So yeah, this is what I like to do. Let's see what I do have a couple ornaments, like ones that my kids made, and they're on the tree somewhere, so I can't really like pull them out to show them to you because they would probably fall, and I'm not really sure where they are on the tree to show you. Um, Now, I mean, my kids always, and I always enjoyed looking forward to that every year, was, um, you know, them coming home and with, the ornaments they made in school. And I used to have, my tree used to be like jam packed full of uh, ornaments that they made. And I started putting them, I eventually started asking them, do you want to take the ornaments, the ornaments you made, or what do you want to do with them? And, the girls all told me, Mom, you can keep them. And little dude, he doesn't really care one way or the other. He's just kind of like, it is what it is. Now, you hear him in the background, maybe. If you do, I apologize. He's wide awake. Um, Now, I'm going to go back to the tradition, no, I'm not. trying to think. Um, but yeah, I usually try to make ornaments every year for the tree. This year I've started, but I haven't finished. I need to. And one of the next things that I'm going to do is I'm going to be making Christmas stockings. And I don't even have it over here. I've started one I started one that a friend of mine sent me, and um, it's going to go to one of the kids. And I want to make one every year. I have a book that is nothing but Christmas ornament or Christmas stockings, so I want to do that every year for the kids, um, and have them, you know, use it as Christmas decorations or whatever they want to do with it. So yeah, it's I have all these plans that I start and then I don't finish them. I don't know why. I don't know how it happens or what happens to stop me from making this plan or from doing, carrying out the finishing the plan. Lord knows because yeah. But um hopefully I can get back into that now that we're kind of all kind of. We'll see. All right, last question. My favorite holiday sweets or treat. Oh my gosh. Um, mm, Jeez. Let's see. There's a couple. Um, that I like, and I have to think. Um, hmm. One is my grandmother would always make coffee cake, and we would get that every Christmas morning for Christmas. For that would be our breakfast. She would make it and bring it, and um, yeah, I just that was one of my favorite Christmas treats, and it always tastes good, and it is sweet, and that was one of my favorite uh, things that we would get Christmas morning. Now the other is um, my grandfather would always give all of us girls Christmas, chocolates, candy, or whatever. And um, he did that until he died. And I would never figure, I could never figure out who it was. And because he would always sign it Santa. And one day I recognized his handwriting and I never said anything. So he one year brought it to me and he handed it to me and I always got Hershey Kisses. Those were my favorite. They still, well, I'm not into chocolate as much now as I used to be, but um when he was giving me Hershey Kisses, that was the thing that I would always um look forward to every year, was what he brought me. um and he would always bring them to me. And um my dad did take over that tradition for a while, but now to be truthful, it doesn't really bother me so much now. I'm not like stressing over not having chocolate for Christmas, if that makes any kind of sense. But yeah, that was our favorite holiday treat. And I used to like that. Of course, I used to love to put cookies out for Santa every year. And but no, that was my favorite holiday treat, with along with the coffee cake. I love coffee cake. No, I don't know how to make it. Would I ever make it? Probably not. But yeah, it was that. Those are, pretty much um, the two things that I really, really like having for Christmas. And sorry, I'm trying to see if I have any more of this symbol before I put this color away, before I start on something else. So, but now this year, oh goodness gracious, this year is going to be kind of quiet, and because, well, I don't want to say that that's the reason, but this year is going to be kind of one of those years where it's going to be blah. Um, it's not. It's not been a good, last half of the year for me, but that's okay because I am. Um, I just, as you guys may remember, I have been training for my job, and now finally I can start working, and I will be paid for it. So, starting, yeah, by now the video comes up, I've already started. So, next year will be completely different. And I'm hoping, there's a lot of things that I have wanted to do over the years that I couldn't do. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, that is all of that. Thank you for watching and joining me on my Christmas premiere. Again, this will be up on Christmas Eve at 4 p.m. And I will probably be in there, chatting with you guys. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to, ask or what have you. Um, and I hope everyone has a great Christmas. And I will see you all next year. Now, before I do stop, I do have some stuff that I wanted to tell y'all that's going on starting next January the 1st. There are a couple stitch alongs. There will be mine. It's called the Full Coverage Sal 2022. I do have a Facebook group for that. Um, and I'm pretty sure one of my mods will put it in the chat. Then the long dog sampler, or along long dog sampler, whatever. I don't. Shalene, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a long dog sampler, Sal, that we are going to be doing. Me, Shalene, there's a bunch of us. Amanda, um, and that starts January the 1st also. And if you were a part of my cross stitch group, Cross Stitching Sisters, there will be a year-long event that we will be focusing on sisters every month. It will be kind of a theme thing. Um, January 1st starts Welcome to the Sisterhood. That's just to get kind of get to know you thing. So if you're interested in that, you can go over to my Cross Stitching Sisters group on Facebook and look that up. I'm trying to think if there was another. The 22 Stash Be Gone. Now, I don't know all the details for that, but I'm pretty sure, somebody in the chat can tell you. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, my goodness. Feeling like there's more than I'm not. If there is, I'm pretty sure I'll remember it. But anyway, I hope you all have a great Christmas. Thank you for joining me and following along with my little ramblings between, So, have a Merry Christmas, guys, and I will see you all next time. And thank you for watching. And I will see you all later. Bye-bye.